Colt is a brave man who does stunts for a famous movie star, Tom. He's been doing these risky stunts for 6 years with Jodi, a smart camera operator who dreams of being a film director someday. Colt and Jodi are close friends and share their dreams under the bright movie lights. They have feelings for each other, just like the drama on a movie set. But then, something goes wrong. During one stunt, Tom is unhappy and asks for a redo. Under pressure, Colt tries again, but the stunt fails badly, and he gets hurt. He tries to stay cheerful despite his injuries, earning him the nickname, the Fall Guy. After 6 months of getting better, Colt leaves his stunt life and starts working quietly at a Mexican restaurant. A year later, he gets a surprising call from Gail, a big-time producer who needs him for a stunt in Sydney, directed by Jodi, who has now become a director. Feeling loyal and excited, Colt goes to Sydney. It feels like going back in time to his stunt days. When he gets to the set, he notices the sand they're supposed to use is too loose and dangerous. Despite the danger and Jodi not asking about him, Colt can't back down because the stunt is crucial for Jodi's first big film. He goes ahead with the stunt, but as he feared, the car loses control on the loose sand and crashes into a camera. It turns into a big, thrilling mess. After finishing a thrilling stunt, Colt stops quickly and takes off his helmet, looking forward to seeing Jodi's reaction. However, Jodi is shocked, not because she's impressed, but because she can't believe what happened. This is when Colt finds out that Jodi didn't ask for him to come. It was all a trick by producer Gail, who lied to Colt by telling him Jodi needed him for the stunt. Jodi, feeling cold, tells Colt to leave, but things get intense when Dan, the coordinator, steps in. They're on a tight schedule, about to film a big scene with fire, and Colt is their only choice. Reluctantly, Jodi works with Colt, pretending to set him on fire for the scene. Even though Colt does the stunt well, Jodi, dealing with mixed emotions, makes him do it again and again. During a tense moment, Jodi shares a story through her movie about a hero who loves an alien but vanishes after an accident, leaving the alien confused and heartbroken. This story, reflecting her own feelings, really affects Colt, bringing up feelings of jealousy and regret. Colt opens up, hinting at his own regrets and fears that he might not be able to fix things. His words linger on the set, full of emotion. As the day ends, Colt confronts Gail about her lies. Gail then adds more drama. Tom, the star, is mixed up with dangerous people and is missing, probably because of drug problems. She admits that getting the police involved would risk spreading the news, which could ruin the movie's funding and their careers. She asks Colt to find and bring back Tom as a last favor. Tired and overwhelmed by all the deceit, Colt agrees to help, but says he needs to rest first, his mind as chaotic as the stunts he's known for. Colt, feeling sad and remembering old times with Jodi, starts crying as he gets ready for an important task from Gail. She has given him a code to enter Tom's apartment building through the roof. While sitting in the car, thinking about the past with Jodi, she suddenly shows up. Seeing him cry, she tells him that seeing his sensitive side makes her feel better. She stays with him in the car for a short while, keeping their interaction strictly professional, and then she leaves. Following his instructions, Colt uses the code to enter Tom's apartment. Feeling hungry and alone, he looks for food in the kitchen. Suddenly, Tom's girlfriend attacks him, not with a real weapon but with a pretend samurai sword, angry about his sneaky way in. Colt explains he's there to find Tom, and she tells him where Tom usually hangs out, a club where he meets a drug dealer known by a skull tattoo. With this new information, Colt goes to the club. There, the dealer tries to trick him and spikes his drink. Under the drug's strong effects, Colt imagines a gunfight and accidentally defeats several of the dealer's men. The scared dealer escapes in a taxi, but Colt, in a dramatic moment, stops the taxi by throwing himself in front of it. The taxi stops, and Colt confronts the dealer, who admits in fear that Tom's security head paid him to drug Colt. Needing more information, the dealer tells Colt to go to a hotel and order a fruit plate from someone named Kevin. Still affected by the drug, Colt jokes that he can see unicorns, adding a strange twist to his risky night. When he gets to the hotel and follows the instructions, Jodi shows up again, questioning him about why he vanished, adding more personal tension to his dangerous journey. Kevin gives Colt a key to a mysterious room, but the key doesn't work after many tries. Frustrated, Colt forces the door open. Inside, he finds a shocking scene. a lifeless body in the bathtub. Colt is stunned and quickly calls Gail to tell her about the grim discovery, suggesting they should call the police. However, Gail, always thinking ahead, tells him to stay quiet. Just then, the real police arrive because Colt's car was parked illegally. Colt tells them about the body. But when they check the room together, the bathtub is mysteriously empty. Confused and doubting himself, Colt struggles to understand what happened. The next day, before Colt can tell Jodi about his strange experience, she keeps him busy with a full day of filming their movie. The filming goes so well that Jodi invites Colt to a party that evening to thank him. However, before the party, Gail suddenly gives Colt a plane ticket and tells him to leave the city right away, making things even more mysterious. At the airport, Colt meets Alma, Tom's assistant. She has Tom's phone, which the security head really wants, even threatening her to get it. She offers to give the phone to Colt if she can be credited as a producer. Colt agrees to help her. Suddenly, Tom's security head shocks Colt with electricity, kidnaps Alma, and demands the phone. In an intense chase, Colt follows them onto a truck and fights the security head with help from Tom's loyal dog. While this is happening, Gail tells Jodi at the party that Colt has flown back home. Jodi feels sad and sings a sad song at the party. Meanwhile, Colt, after a tough fight, escapes from the truck with the phone. He crashes into the party hall, surprising everyone who thought he was gone, ready to deal with the lies and danger he's been caught up in. As Colt deals with the confusion around him, Alma, thinking fast, kicks the truck driver and forces him out. The truck stops suddenly, and Colt goes flying through the glass, landing on the road. He gets up and heads back to the now empty party hall where the celebrations have ended, leaving only remnants of the night's events. In the quiet, Colt finds his friend Dan and urgently asks him to help unlock Tom's phone. Dan calls a tech expert from his team who tries to break the password but says it might take a couple of days. They can't wait that long, so they leave the phone and she goes away. Remembering that Tom likes to write notes and stick them around his apartment, Colt thinks they might find the password there. Their guess is right when they find a notebook in Tom's apartment with the important password. Excited, they unlock the phone and start looking through Tom's videos. One video shockingly shows that Tom had hurt his other stunt double, Henry, during the party. Colt remembers seeing Henry's lifeless body in a hotel room, which matches with news on TV saying Henry is dead and showing Colt leaving his room, making it look like he might be the murderer. Just then, Tom's security head and his men burst in, shooting. A bullet hits and breaks Tom's phone, destroying their only proof. In desperation, Colt jumps from the rooftop of the apartment and lands in a yard where Tom is having a party. Tom, thinking Colt is a threat, grabs him and demands the now broken phone, hurting him for answers. It's here that Colt finds out that his severe injury from a stunt 1.5 years ago was no accident but was caused on purpose by Tom, who was jealous and felt insecure about not being seen as the hero on set. Colt also learns that Henry had revealed Tom's dependence on stunt doubles at a party, leading Tom to hurt Henry out of revenge. Overwhelmed by the risk of ruining his career, Tom had followed Gail's advice to disappear, hoping to avoid the growing scandal. Here, Tom reveals a scary plan. He only let Jodi direct the film to trick Colt into coming back. The evil plot was to use computer tricks to put Colt's face on a murder video to wrongly blame him for Henry's death, and then plan to get rid of him in the sea to hide the crime. As Tom talks, he thinks his plan is still working, not knowing the important phone with all the evidence is now broken. Angry about being tricked, Colt confronts Tom, who, finding out his phone is destroyed, tells his men to cover Colt in petrol and burn him alive. In a quick move, Colt pretends to scream in pain, using this moment to throw the petrol on one of Tom's men instead, setting him on fire. Colt then escapes, jumps into a nearby boat, and speeds away as bullets fly past him. During his escape, Colt calls Jodi, tearfully saying that he stayed away after his accident because he felt like a failure and didn't think he deserved her love. Touched by his honesty, Jodi starts crying, realizing how much Colt cares for her. But Colt's problems aren't over yet. As he speeds away, his boat hits an oil drum and explodes. News channels quickly report Colt's supposed death, calling it a suicide and showing the fake video where he looks like Henry's killer. Luckily, Colt survives by jumping into the water just in time. Meanwhile, Jodi, looking at the incident video, is startled by a man in an alien costume. She gets defensive, but the man takes off the costume to reveal he's Colt, alive. He explains that the murder video was faked using AI, and the real evidence was on Tom's now-destroyed phone. He tells Jodi about Gail's part in the plot. Feeling betrayed, Jodi decides to stop directing the movie. But Colt, always ready to fight, convinces her not to give up her dream because of the scandal. He reminds her of her love for making films, encouraging her to finish the project despite the chaos. As soon as Gail arrives and announces Tom's return, but cancels the daring car jump scene, Jodi insists that the movie will still be finished. After Gail leaves, she and Colt come up with a plan to get Tom to confess during the stunt, hoping to record him admitting his guilt. The next day, filming starts with Jodi explaining the scene to Tom. As they begin, Colt jumps into the car with Tom, fastens his seatbelt, and takes over the driving. Just then, Tom's security team starts chasing them, but Dan, always planning ahead, uses explosives to flip their cars and stops them from following. Cornered and trying to avoid the jump, Tom confesses everything, not knowing that Jodi is recording both the sound and video of his confession. Colt then jumps out of the speeding car, leaving Tom alone. The car crashes, and Tom is knocked out. During the confusion that follows, Gail grabs the hard drive with the evidence and tries to run away. Jodi confronts her and manages to get the hard drive back after a tense face-off, while Dan and his team deal with Tom's remaining security. Meanwhile, Tom wakes up and rushes to a helicopter with Gail trying to escape with him. Dan's quick actions leave the security head hanging in midair, as Colt, determined not to let Tom get away, surprisingly asks Jodi for a date by the sea amidst the chaos. She agrees, and Colt uses a crane to spectacularly jump onto the helicopter, fighting fiercely in the air. Just as things reach their peak, Dan drives underneath with an air mattress on his car. Colt, holding the hard drive, jumps from the helicopter and lands safely on the mattress. Jodi runs over to him and they share a passionate kiss. In a twist typical of Hollywood, the movie, originally called Metal Strom, is finished with Jason Momoa stepping in to replace Tom. Upon release, the film is a success. Finally, Colt and Jodi enjoy their well-deserved date by the sea, with Colt's newly adopted dog, formerly owned by Tom, joining them. This thrilling adventure ends with a hint for the audience to stay tuned for more, promising future action-filled stories. And don't forget to hit the bell icon for updates.